What's up, good people? Hey, check it out from the fine folks at Laney from their Foundry series. This is the Ironheart Loudpedal. This is a 60-watt guitar amplifier in a pedal. That's right, this was what I used to record all those guitar parts in the song at the beginning of the video, and for all those parts I was plugged into a speaker cabinet. Out in the other room I got my old Marshall cabinet mic'd up, and that is what you were hearing, all the way from the clean sounds through the dirty, through to the ripping solo tones. It's all this pedal running into a speaker cabinet, no other stuff connected. It's a two-channel affair. You got a switch here to go from channel 1 to channel 2. Each channel has a gain and volume control. On channel 1, you've got a 3-position switch that'll take you all the way from clean to a rhythm crunch through to a lead sound. So you can get an alternative lead sound different than channel 2. Over here on channel 1, it's a little more vintage, a little more overdrive flavored as opposed to high gain distortion, and it actually sounds really good. I used channel 1 for the clean guitar that started the song at the beginning of the video, and then also for the lead guitars that played over that first part of the song, the lower gain leads. So lots of tones available there on channel 1. Over on channel 2, you've got basically like full-on modern thick crunch all the way through to searing, high gain, ripping distortion. There's a 3-position switch there to go from dark to kind of a medium tone to a bright tone. And so you can fine tune the tone of channel 2 using that switch. Then you've got a 3-band EQ here, bass, middle, treble, and that's shared between the two channels. Last but not least, on the front of the pedal here, you got this switch to turn on and off a boost, which is this red control. It gives you both a volume bump as well as a gain boost to push solos out over the mix. Input for your guitars on this side of the pedal. On this side of the pedal, you get a loudspeaker output, so that's what I had plugged into my speaker cabinet. You also get an effects loop here with a send and return, so you can patch in any effects pedals that you'd want to. On the back of the pedal here, you get a DI output here via an XLR, and it's got a defeatable analog cab sim. And the cab sim sounds pretty good. I'm going to show you what that sounds like in a little bit. I didn't use it on any of the guitar parts on the song, but I will show you what it sounds like. It is defeatable as well, so if you want to use your own cabinet simulation IRs in the computer, or maybe via like an external IR sim box, something like that, you can do that. And there's also a ground lift switch there if you run into any ground loop issues connecting that DI output. Other connections you got here, an aux in, that's nice, so that you can connect like, you know, your computer or phone or something if you want to play tracks through it. And then you got a headphone jack here so that you can jam along with tracks and stuff like that in practice. On-off switch, this is the connection for the power. It does have kind of a wall wart power adapter that attaches, that is included. So I'm going to run you through a bunch of those tones that I used on that song at the beginning of the video, all the way from the heavy rhythm guitars, the clean stuff, the solos. Let's check it out. Here we go. It is the Laney Ironheart Loudpedal. So I just cut my dirty rhythm guitars in the song at the beginning of the video, and they're hard panned left and right. I used my Sur on the left track, my modern, and then I'm using this Nag Steve Stevens for the other track, just to give a little bit of guitar sonic variety. I'm obviously on the gain channel, channel 2. There's this 3-position switch here that lets you go from a dark setting to medium to bright. I opted for the medium setting. Just because that's going to leave me some room to maybe use a brighter sound for the lead guitar and get a real cutting, searing sound. I've got the mid scooped just a little bit in the 3-band EQ. I got the bass right on half. I got the treble up about to 230 just to give me a little bit of upper mid cut when using that medium bright setting. And I got the gain only on about 1 o'clock. And, you know, plenty of gain left there. And this is through a cab. I'm playing through the cab in the other room. This is the amp right here. So it sounds something like this. Just thick, modern gain. If I hit the bright switch, right, and then down to the dark position. So that should give you plenty of range there to compensate for different sounding pickups and stuff. Let's boost the gain up a little bit with this sound. I'll put the switch back in the middle for the brightness. That's cool too. It just starts getting not as tight, but it actually still sounds really good, like even though it's that saturated for this tone. So, okay, oh, you could also hit the boost, of course. Let me bring the gain down a little bit, and then let's hit the gain boost. So that definitely adds another layer of volume and aggression gain-wise. So I just cut the first kind of clean guitar that starts the song, and so of course I'm on the cleaner of the two channels here. I've got the gain 1 active here, and you've got a 3-position switch here to go from rhythm to lead to clean. I'm on the clean setting. As far as the EQ goes, I've got the treble up about 3/4 of the way up, the mids up around 1 o'clock, and the bass back a little bit, because I'm using a guitar here with rather hot pickups, my Sir Modern, and I just wanted a lot of clarity out of this part. So I'm using the 2 humbuckers together here. Let's check out the tone that I actually got in the song. There's a little bit of effects that I added within Logic for this tone, so I want you to hear what that sounds like. Just a little bit of echo and a little bit of pitch shifter, a little bit of reverb, because it just sounded sweeter like that. But I want to show you what it sounds like without that. But first, let's listen to the part with the effects. Okay, and now without any effects. So that's the tone. It's just a really, really pure, nice, straight up, clean sound. You know, it's nothing, it's not like gonna, you know, knock any blackface deluxe reverbs out of the water or anything like that, but it's a totally serviceable, nice, clean sound. Right, that you can add some effects to and stuff, and that's just bone dry the way that you're hearing that right now, straight up. Okay, so now let's switch the switch here and check out what it sounds like when we add a little bit of grind to that. I'll go to the bridge pickup. That's on the rhythm setting. Then if I go to the lead setting, right, and that's with the gain set quite low. So let's turn up the gain and see what kind of drive we can get out of channel 1 here. Now, because I had the EQ set for a lot of clarity when using the 2 humbuckers together in a straight up clean sound, now it sounds a little thin to me. So I'm going to add some bass, pull the mids back a little bit, maybe drop the treble a bit. And that sounded pretty cool in kind of a classic way, you know, not full on like metal or anything, but so I've got the gain over 3/4 of the way up now on channel 1. Okay, so there's some cool distortion sounds to be had there on channel 1 as well if you want to do that. Let me go back to the rhythm setting. So this is still a little bit of grind, not totally clean. A little less compression, and then once again to the clean setting. And I bet this still has some grind on it with these hot pickups. with the gain up this high. You can hear it gets louder too, because there's like less probably clipping diodes in line or whatever. So I got to back the gain down a little bit and maybe bring the volume back a bit. If I go to a split coil position here, 2 single coils, you'll hear that, you know, it's much cleaner. So that's channel 1. I mean, plenty of options there. Lots of options as far as getting clean all the way through to your rhythm dirt, through to even, you know, some sort of old school lead sounds. And then you can hit it with the boost. We haven't even tried that yet. And if I go to let's go back to the lead setting and crank up the gain a bit, and then we'll hit the boost. Okay, so kind of old school drive sounds there that you can hear, you know, are going to get you into like 70s rock territory, or maybe a little bit of 80s rock. And you'll notice that the volume jumps up and down a little bit when you set this switch, like the gain range kind of switch in different positions. So you just have to balance that using the gain and volume controls, you know, so that you can get a nice balance with channel 2 happening. So I'm going to move on to some lead guitars now. I'm going to switch up the sound a little bit and get some soloing in. So for the first lead in the song at the beginning of the video, it's really just like a melody that comes in after the clean part at the beginning and then plays through the intro. I opted to use channel 1 with the gain cranked on the lead setting, and I've got the boost on, you know, and played a part kind of like this. Like almost like an overdrive pedal sustain-y character going on to it when I use this sound. So anyways, I just thought I'd show you that. Alrighty, thanks for watching my video on the Laney Ironheart Loudpedal. Hopefully this video gave you a good idea of a bunch of the different tones that you can get out of the pedal. You can also use it as an overdrive in front of an amplifier. I didn't try that in my video. I thought most folks are going to want to know what it sounds like for kind of what I think is its main intended purpose, which is actually as a guitar amp that you can actually just put on a pedal board. But it's good to know you can use it as an overdrive in front of an amplifier via the effects send line output there, and just run it in front of an amp. 2 channels, switchable bright, switchable rhythm, lead, and clean tones on channel 1, a shared 3-band EQ with a boost there, DI output with defeatable cav sim, aux in, headphone jack, what's not to like? Check it out more at the link down there in the video description below. Hey, please hit subscribe if you haven't. Hit the little bell beside the subscribe so you'll get an alert when I put out new videos. Thanks for watching. I'm Pete Thorn. Take care.